Okay. So other people are still joining, but I think we can kick off and I'll be letting them in. So I'm joined here today. Thanks a lot for your time. Apologies for that. I should be the one who switches off his mobile, but he didn't. So apologies for that. So I'm joined here today by the founder of Swipe, Mikhail.
Hello, everyone.
And we have Marin, who is actually on behalf of Vitosha Venture Partners leading. There's something wrong with your camera, Marin. Yeah, maybe you want to enter again.
Yeah, there you
go. There you go. Now it works. So I'm joined here by those gentlemen. I see plenty of interesting people on the call as well. The idea is to get to meet Misho one-on-one, essentially, and ask him questions that you might have. So the whole call will be structured in the following way. I mean, I will need you guys to make an intro. I will then ask a few questions that I've prepared beforehand, and I'll let Misha talk about his plans, about the current round, and what the investment is actually going to be invested in. So that's in an essence, that's in a nutshell what we are trying to do tonight. Without further ado, Misha, please go ahead and present yourself with just a few sentences, and then I'll ask Marin to do the same thing.
Thanks, Angel. Thanks everyone for joining. I know it's quite time off your working schedules, and thanks for your time now. And just say a few words. I'm the CEO and founder of Swipe. Many investors and shareholders and some of the other founders are in the call themselves, but we started the company 2 years ago. We've been in a great, very dynamic journey, and I'm really looking forward to sharing a lot of details further on in the call.
Thank you. And Yordani is also joined here. I see him on the screen as well. So that will be awesome. I mean, we've got two VCs backing that deal right now. So on behalf of Vitosha, Marin, you can do a short intro.
Hi, my name is Marin. I'm one of the partners in Vitosha Venture Partners. We are the first institutional investor in Swipe. We've invested twice already. I had the opportunity to basically watch the company start and grow from its very beginning. So very impressed really with how it's progressing so far. So I'll be available to answer any questions you might have for me.
Thanks a lot. Dancho, you want to do a short intro as well?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Yordan Zarev. I'm a partner at MV3. We're probably the second institutional investor in Swipe. We are doubling down in this current round because we see tremendous progress that Misho and his team have achieved over the past 12 months. I believe that their team is super committed and kind of have the capabilities to pull this off and become a regional player. And I'm also available for any questions that you might have.
Smashing. And now going to the main protagonist in this call, really. Mikhail, if you can share with us with a few sentences how you decided to kick off with Swipe. And
absolutely. Do you mind if I share the presentation and just jump from slide to slide and yeah, be more structured here? Okay.
All right. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Let's do it. So basically, my experience is mainly in investments in business development. I started off as an investment banker and consultant. I've structured deals, private deals and public deals on the Bulgarian Stock Exchange. I've seen companies from different stages of development, from seed rounds up until exits, and I've helped companies raise funds, business develop, and exit later on. Right before founding Swipe, I worked for the largest classifieds platform in the world, OLX Group, and there I was responsible for 60% of the revenue units that generated 6% of the revenue in 3 markets: Bulgaria, Romania, and Portugal. And mainly there, I became familiar with the peer-to-peer trade and all the inefficiencies that can rise from peer-to-peer trade, but on the other hand, of the potential and the huge size of secondhand goods and the trade that of the circular economy, basically. So with the idea of creating a platform or creating a business that can clear up all these inefficiencies and further leverage on this tremendous potential, I founded Swipe with a group of investors. And based on my experience as business developer and also as investment professional, my goal is not just to be a simple online platform. My goal and my team's goal is to turn Swipe into a catalyst of this sector in Central and Eastern Europe, because this sector is very underdeveloped, with huge potential and with huge appetite from big players to enter it. But I'll tell you more about it later on.
So who's behind Swipe?
So basically, let me see if I can turn the slide. Yeah, I saw on the call 2 of the founders. Manuel, I didn't see; he's probably here as well. But when this idea arose in me, I was confident that I need support here, and I need support from experienced entrepreneurs, from people that have done many mistakes along their ways and also achieved a lot, so that they can shortcut my track and shortcut my development as a business. So first people I called were people I used to work with, people I believe that I kind of helped them with my expertise with their enterprises and their companies. Those were Ogi Popov, who is the founder of Prospecto Group, this digital media that was acquired by Oferista Group. Also, Ogi is a serial entrepreneur and angel investor, very experienced person that is helping us a lot with overall how to structure the business, how to approach partners, how to dream big, if not. Another person is Nicola. He's in the call as well. He's co-founder, CTO, and CEO of GrabOBG. I believe he's the engine behind GrabOBG. And also Grabo, for non-Bulgarians, is the leading daily deals platform in Bulgaria, equivalent to Groupon. He's also very, very successful digital entrepreneur, and actually he was the engine behind the platform, because he kind of he's always giving us good advice how to structure the platform, how to improve it, how to create a good product that is the backbone of our business. And also Manuel, who is our current CTO and also very experienced in different startup projects and very experienced in e-commerce as well. So he's also a very important engine behind the platform. So this is the founding team.
That's the founding team, right? But
Yep.
You also have a pretty impressive board of advisors. Do you want to share a little bit about that as well?
Sure. Yeah. And first, I apologize because the slide is kind of small in size, so I couldn't include all the shareholders and advisors in company. I apologize, namely to Denise, who is in the call right now, but he's very important as well in the company. But here, last year in September, we raised almost 500k euro seed investment from VCs and business angels. VCs, Marine is in the call, and Jordan as well from N-Vitri and Vitusha. But also very, very important, and I believe these people are the greatest asset in the company, because they're not just simply shareholders. They help us on a daily basis. They open doors for us. They advise us. They're very active, and I believe they're very happy with their investment in Swipe, because we also try to be very transparent to them and try to take advantage of their contacts and their help. And those are Presyan Karakostov, who is the founder of Phone Arena, one of the leading media for smartphones in the world. Also co-founder of Pub Galaxy, which was acquired, serial entrepreneur. He was on the cover of Forbes Bulgaria, very, very renowned entrepreneur. Peter Baron, the CEO of TBI Bank. We also have here in the call Denise, who is also from the TBI structure and experienced banker, and so on. George Brashnarov, founder of Nemetschek Bulgaria. He offers his help with contacts, with IT support, anything. Daneta Zeleva, who is the CEO and founder of Industrial Holding Bulgaria. Probably the best door opener in terms of business contacts ever, helping a lot. Ivail, the founder of Yuvo and NewPay, fintech companies, and also Forbes 30 under 30. Martin Marco, founder of Apolica, another IT company. Mila, ex-Shell executive, helping us a lot with working capital instruments. Nicola Stefanov, serial entrepreneur. So you see here very, very important people who are not just advisors, but shareholders with direct interest in the success of the company, and they help us a lot. And I believe the tremendous success we've had so far for a very short period of time is namely because of them.
Cheers. Well, I mean, you got a presentation. You want to continue? I don't know.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. So basically, I guess the normal way to continue is to show you what we have achieved so far. What's
awesome,
our history? Yep.
Yeah.
So basically, we founded the company in September 2021, and but what I mean by founding the company is we had basically nothing. We had a good idea, and we had the backup from Vitusha as a pre-seed investor from the founders. And for the first 6 months, our approach was to validate the market. And I believe this is the very, very smart way to do things as a startup, because some startups start very ambitious. They spend so much money in creating products, and later on they realize that there is no proper product market fit. What we did is we started very lean, but very smart. We launched a Shopify platform. We had a team of 1 customer support. We had very lean marketing. We tried different approaches. We were approaching smart people to join the company, and we were also preparing a seed round for later on. So that was basically our first year of our life, and that's why the financial results are not so great. But our task was namely different. Our task was to prepare for when we have the financial support and financial resources. So we started preparing a financial round in May, June, but as you can know, this takes a lot of time and effort. So we basically closed our seed round in September 2022. And you can see here what happened after that. From September until February, we achieved 20 times revenue growth. 20 times revenue growth for a period of 6 months. And you can imagine what it takes operationally to manage such a huge growth for such a short period of time. We achieved 250,000 euro revenue in February, starting from 12,000 in August. In the meantime, we launched our custom platform with a lot of statistics in the back, with managing every process of the whole business, from client inquiries through collection, through refurbishment, anything. And we continue to do that. But also we insourced all operations in-house. Here, in order to be lean and smart, we had outsourced the fulfillment, the refurbishment, basically everything to other companies. And here in this period of time, we managed to insource everything in-house, hire technicians, rent places, buy equipment, you name it. And later on, from March on, we realized that this business has a huge potential, and we started preparing for the next phase of development. What we basically did is we continued building our internal capabilities in terms of refurbishment, in terms of platform. We also increased our margins 6 times so that the business is very sustainable while growing. We structured and created a product in terms of digital operationally buyback program for external partners. We contacted and signed agreements with external partners. And here I talk about big retailers. We also talk to telecoms, online shops, just name them. And also we started preparing.
Potentially who they are, or do you have that part of your presentation?
Let me get to that. It's probably in a later slide, if you don't mind. Probably I'll naturally progress to that, or you would like me to do it right away?
No, go to that. No, absolutely.
Sure.
Not now.
Sure. And also getting to our big dream and moving the business to the next phase, we've been preparing for our pre-series A, which is the topic of our discussion right now. So Ange, you want to ask something related to that, or should I continue?
Yeah, I wanna slow you down for a little bit, because that's absolutely amazing what you have achieved, but some of the people that I see on the call maybe are not aware of what you do. So can we like spend a few moments? And I actually saw that your next slide is exactly about that. I mean, what do you do? Where are you now, and what do you want to achieve, basically?
So basically, let me start, and this is quite interesting, because really our slide is going into that direction. So the problem we're trying to solve. So basically, refurbished smartphones. When someone thinks of a refurbished smartphone, they might think of something old, something scratched, something with a worn out battery or parts. Something not very pleasant. But as a matter of fact, the refurbished smartphone market is quite big in particular regions across the world. Like in North America, for example, or in Asia, the refurbished smartphone market reaches 20%. So imagine every 5th phone on the market is refurbished. In Western Europe, mainly thanks to the penetration in France, which is reaching this 20% mark. In Western Europe, this penetration of refurbished smartphones are around 12%. But again, developed market, UK, France contribute to that. In Central and Eastern Europe, the penetration is very low. It's below 5%, and that's mainly because it's mainly peer-to-peer. No big players, or only a few big players, participate into that sector, so the penetration is still low, and there is not big awareness around it. So clients are not very familiar of the benefits and the availabilities of such products.
What do telcos do, for instance?
What is that? Sorry?
What do telcos do, for instance?
Yep. So basically, the main reason why the penetration is so high in particular regions is that almost every player related to the smartphone sector is engaged into the refurbished sector anyhow. For example, in North America, 90% of the telcos have buyback programs. So imagine that almost every single person buying a new smartphone have the opportunity to trade in their old device. In Asia is similar. In Western Europe is evolving right now. In Central and Eastern Europe, such programs are almost non-existent. So you can imagine as users yourselves that are in the call right now, you can imagine in how many places you can go, and while buying a new phone, you can immediately trade in your old device and get a discount from your new phone. Almost nowhere, and it's not just in Bulgaria. It's similar in the whole region, and that is why when the supply is limited and when big players don't validate this sector, that's why the penetration is so low. So basically, what we do and what we try to do is we try to catalyze this sector by creating instruments and being partners of such big players, and also having our own channels, so that it's much easier and available to end users to trade in all their old devices, to buy a refurbished device, a trusted refurbished device, and not worry about warranty or returns or anything like that. So
you
basically,
do have warranty, right?
Yep. Basically, yeah. So when a peer-to-peer trade, when you buy a phone from another peer, from another user, you don't know what will happen 6 months down the road. You don't know what will happen to the device 2 days down the road. But when you buy it from a platform like ours or from a legitimate player, you have this trust from that player that you can return this device when you have a problem with it. You have a warranty and so on. But basically, the problems of the sector are that big players, and it's not that easy. You might say, all right, but what's the problem? Why should not big players just join directly and have buyback programs? Because big players don't do that. Telecoms, they don't do that. They have a different type of business. They sell services, they sell brand new products, retailers as well. And this is not the experience of such players in these developed regions. Usually they play or they develop such programs with partners who have this expertise, have the selling channels, have the collection expertise, have the inspection expertise, have the refurbishment expertise. And these players don't have them. And when such players are non-existent, big players cannot join the market. I mean, they don't have many opportunities while such players are not there. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to become a trusted partner of big players so that we create sustainable supply channels of inventory. And this inventory we sell via our own channels, via marketplaces, and not just in our region. We can sell them across Europe. We can sell them anywhere because smartphones, they're like commodity. Same smartphone can be sold across the world and sourced from any place around the world. Basically, you asked me what we have achieved and what partners we have we have approached and signed already. So basically, we have so far developed 4 different types of partnerships. First one is with online shops, and this is quite unique because nobody has been doing this, and not just in the region, but we haven't found any player doing this. And this is like imagine affiliate online program for selling devices. Imagine you go to a platform, e-commerce, buying a brand new device, and in the buying process, you have an opportunity to assess your old device and to send an inquiry of selling your old device, and basically without leaving the platform. So this will be integrated into the platforms and will allow us to reach more clients willing to sell their devices. Another interesting model that came out of the approaching banks for working capital and so on is how to integrate our services into the services of different banks, because basically we're very attractive to banks because up until now refurbished smartphones were sold, or secondhand smartphones were sold only in cash between peers. Right now we offer users to buy refurbished smartphone in installments with stock credits. And this is a completely new line of business for banks. And in order to boost us or to help us grow, and they grow along with us, they give us different type of instruments that can help us get additional inventory that we can sell through them or through stock credits. And just to give some examples, OTP Leasing, for example, they're informing, or we're using them as a marketing channel for clients buying new devices through stock credits, and they inform them right away and giving them bonuses in order to sell their devices through us. TBI Bank, we've been discussing with Peter and Denise opportunity to launch such a program with TBI, and UniCredit, actually we've been working with them in order to integrate our service into their banking app. So basically, every single user of UniCredit, which is the largest bank in Bulgaria, will have access to our services natively through their banking app. That's quite unique as well. Retailers, we signed contracts with Technomarket, Zora, two of the 3 largest online offline retailers, and we're starting working with them from this month. In the pipeline is Technopolis, the largest one. We've had conversations, but we're one step behind reaching an agreement. We've been talking to Yetel, we've been talking to Vivacom and also A1. But you can imagine with big players, it's a process a bit slow, but we've done first steps into that direction. Angel, any questions probably, or should I move to the boring part, financials?
I've got my questions afterwards, so please go ahead.
Sure.
One of them was actually, can you share a little bit more details of what you have achieved? And there you have it, another slide that you've prepared. So go ahead.
Yep. All right. So our growth so far. We've achieved over 1,000. As I showed you, after we got our investment last year, we scaled tremendously fast, and we grew revenue by 20 times for a very short period of time. Last year, we generated a little over 600K euro revenue, and 85% of it was generated in the last Q. Year to date, for the first 3 Qs of 2023, our revenue is 1.8 million euro. Also, I'm very happy that we reached break even in September. So this is great news because we've proven that this is not just a cash burn business, and this can be profitable. And we've reached this breaking point into turning it into a real business, making profit. So this is a great milestone for us. I'm very proud of the team for that. Other metrics that are very, very interesting. We've traded 3,600 phones year to date for this year. We've achieved 500 euro average revenue per sale or per phone, which is very surprising to some people because when they think of refurbished phones, they think of probably Nokia 3310 with the buttons that cost 10 euro. But no, actually people buy premium phones. Just today, we acquired iPhone 15. The phones with the greatest turnover cycle or the shortest turnover cycle are premium phones, iPhone 14, iPhone 13. So people are looking for premium devices even though they're refurbished. We've had a tremendous margin involvement over the past 6 months, and actually in October so far we have achieved 22% gross profit margin, and this is before marketing and salaries, but everything cost of goods sold included. And this is a good involvement because in February we had 7% and now we have 22%, and there is huge potential for additional margin involvement because we haven't realized so far any economies of scale. And imagine once we start buying parts in bulk, once we start having bigger volumes, we can optimize the refurbishment costs by 30%. So this is a great opportunity for further involvement. Our top margin, which is selling price minus acquisition costs, reaches 33-35% already. So this is tremendous. And also with multiple supply channels, you can imagine with so many supply channels and with motivation when buyers go and are willing to buy a brand new device and are motivated to immediately trade in their old device, we can even push the acquisition cost even lower. So the offer price can be even lower. So this is a huge opportunity to margins to further evolve. Angel, sorry for asking, or should I continue and later on?
Go ahead, and then I'll kick off with the questions.
Sure, absolutely. So the potential here, I'll be very
structured presentation, so I don't want to interfere.
Yep, I'll be quick
But
because
this being said, if any of the investors here want to ask questions, please do that through the chat, and I'll ask the questions. So far, none. So continue.
Yep. So I'll try to be quick and continue. So So all this potential, how this will result into the financials, and which is very important for every investor anyway. So as of now, our actuals, we've had only our own channel. So we have one offline point. We've been sourcing on and off inventory from corporates and from telcos as demo phones and so on, but this is very sporadic. But right now, we have the contracts, we have the agreements, we have the product, we have the refurbishment center, we have all the capabilities, and we're kicking off with partners right now. So basically, we're going to have access to 1.5 million devices per year. These are the devices, new devices sold in Bulgaria per year. Who have access to that? And also, we're going to, the next phase of business, or next year, we're going to build B2C and B2B sales channels in Europe directly and via marketplaces. Directly, we're going to focus in our region, but via marketplaces, we've already started working and selling with the largest marketplace in Greece, Scrooge, for example. We've been considering back market and our other marketplaces, but when we have the supply, we can sell any place, as I said. And also, we're going to expand our internal capabilities in order to further take up more growth and more inventory. And in 2025, I imagine, because it takes a bit time in order to meet, to negotiate, to convince new partners into working with you, especially bigger ones. In 2025, we're planning to approach partners outside of Bulgaria, big players outside of Bulgaria, and then we expect the revenue to grow tremendously. We expect to reach 6 million euro monthly revenue and almost 1 million euro EBITDA per month. And you might think, oh, that's impossible. We've seen this in so many startups. These are dreams that will never come true. Business doesn't go this way, and so on. But here I'll show you in a simplistic way why our business is so scalable. So basically, we have very large price per phone, 500 euro, and this is very important because one device that is 150 grams, so small, you can see it, can generate 500 euro revenue. You don't need a lot of warehousing, you don't need a lot of resources in order to generate 500 euro revenue. The annual new smartphone market in Central and Eastern Europe, so in Central and Eastern Europe per year, there are 25 million new devices sold per year.
Oh, the refurbished sector means that will remain the same in 3 years' time?
There is, the new smartphone market grows very conservatively. It grows by 2-3% per year already, and the penetration is quite high. In Central and Eastern Europe, the smartphone penetration is 82 to 85%. So it's not like, it grows, but very slowly, organically. It probably moved to 26, 27, but these are the numbers that will probably stay close to. But on the other hand, the refurbished sector penetration, the refurbished market globally has been growing by 15% CAGR. And looking at the penetration levels in Western Europe and the developed markets, we believe that we can, us and other players in the sector already, can boost this adoption to from 5 to 10%. So basically, we're looking at 1.3 to 2.5 million refurbished devices sold within 3-year period. So here's the catch. In 2023, we're going to trade 6,500 devices. With all the partners, just Zora and Technomarket, we already signed contracts with them. They sell 15,000 each one of them new devices per month. These are 30,000. If we reach even 10% penetration there, 10% of the users that buy new devices trade in their old devices, these are 3,000 devices per month times 12. This is 36 100,000 devices per year. And this is just the beginning. And these are only 2 partners. Online shops, banks, telecoms are excluded there. So we have a very, very a strong potential to reach over 100,000 devices per year, which if you think those are 300 devices per day, which is not so great. I mean, e-commerce shops and big players, 300 orders per day is nothing. But the very interesting part is that this is only less than 0.5% of the whole smartphone market. So less than 0.5% of every user buying a new phone will trade in their old phone with us. And this has the potential to generate 57 million euro, mainly because of this high value, 57 million euro with 7.3 million EBITDA. So this is why this is a very scalable business, because you don't sell a subscription for, for a software for $10 per month. You sell a phone, which is 500 euro. The sector is underdeveloped. Players don't have buyback programs. They're hungry for such a service and so on. This is not just our dream. We have been building capabilities and resources that are quite unique. And for the sector, because sector is very complex with different levels, we believe that we have very strong expertise already, and we're going to build up on this expertise later on. So we believe that at some point, we can sell our expertise separately as separate services to different players that can join the sector, and not just from the region, but any place. And these are our refurbishment center. Imagine that after building a refurbishment center, we can be a refurbishment partner to telcos for new devices. That's completely possible, and we have been receiving such requests already. Technology, our platform, very deep dive platform with statistics, with repair shop capabilities, with anything. Imagine a player in Western Europe, online player wanting to join the company. Why should they spend millions and so much time into building such a platform, as they can use our platform as a separate service? Marketing, consulting, all these players, when they start joining the sector, the big players, they will want to know how to market their buyback programs, how to market when they start selling refurbished devices. They will need to have know-how in order to instill it internally into their teams. So these are all separate revenue streams that are potential for us. Competition, I suggest, Angel, we leave this as a question later on for me to come back to.
I think it will be ideal now to take on with the Q&A, actually. I don't know how many more slides you've got, but
let me take this for 1 minute. So basically, what is here on the table? 10 million euro pre-money evaluation. We have just received this week another commitment from another VC. So right now it seems that the round is already oversubscribed. We have 1 million euro from VCs. We have 150k euro from current business angels. Almost everyone in the company is going to invest again. 50k euro from new business angels. So 1.2 million euros already committed. But still, even though the round is oversubscribed, we will leave the round on Seedlink. So 185k is still available on Seedlink. So I think this is quite important for this meeting.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yep.
You've been very exhaustive, so you covered actually most of my questions that I had. But anyhow, I will start with the questions, and I will start with the questions towards Marin and Jordan. Actually, that will be great. And then, to be frank, I have one question that I repeat all the time to institutional investors, and the question is why, especially when you're doing a second round. What convinced you to proceed with the first investment and now with the follow-on? So what is the uniqueness in Swipe that you found?
Well, I could share that I was very skeptical the first time I got the deck and I heard about this idea. I knew basically nothing about the refurbished market. I was very sort of doubtful. I was thinking, I don't know anybody who uses a second-hand phone, who is going to buy a second-hand phone. you could probably buy like older models now. You know how Apple models, previous models are available for less. So I was very skeptical, and you know, it took a while. It took some time, not some time, actually, very quickly. But it took for Mikhail to basically present the case. He was very well prepared with you know, factual data. Like he had thoroughly researched the market. So I was really blown away by the volume of the refurbished market. Well, not refurbished, but the secondhand market, which is actually, you know, slightly different thing. But he presented me with real world numbers that showed that like 50 million worth of secondhand phones are being sold just in a few marketplaces, and a bunch a bunch of other places also sell them. So, you know, and this was just before even the market started developing. So anyways, I approached this opportunity with big doubts. We invested very little initially. So as we mentioned, we got in at the pre-seed level. We put in only 25K together with another angel. So only with 50K, Mikhail was able to you know, get off the ground. Within months, he was generating thousands of euros in revenue, and then especially after the second round, which was, you know, very logical because he was, you know, he in the meantime further developed his vision about capturing this buyback and refurbishment market here in the region, which was very convincing. I already, you know, learned so much about what's going on in other markets, in the more developed markets, the size of some comparable companies that are in these more developed markets. So I was already convinced that the opportunity is really huge on the one hand, and on the other hand, you know, I was sort of watching almost firsthand how the company was progressing. Mikhail is very good with monthly reporting. So he provides not only numbers, but, you know, a lot of details about, you know, all the business developments, various market, you know, developments again, and whatever. So everything was very transparent and also very convincing. I mean, he's you know, no bullshit guy, so you would never hear something sort of overblown or covered up or whatever. Like, he tells it as it is. So my level of trust with him is, you know, compares to basically almost nobody else that we've invested in, and we are in more than 70 companies at this stage. So great market opportunity on the one hand, great execution by the company, probably one of the best founders that we're working with. And most importantly, you know, the numbers speak for themselves. Obviously, as you can see, you know, especially after the second investment. So he had gotten the company off the ground with only 50K. He was, you know, he had sort of laid the grounds for expansion. And once he got the second sort of tranche of money, I mean, the second round of investment, which was about 500,000 at the time, the rate of growth, as he explained, was really spectacular. I mean, he started with single-digit revenues, like, you know, 5,000, 7,000. Within a few months, he was in the tens of thousands, and then he got into hundreds of thousands basically within months. So that was really impressive. Another proof of the potential of the market. So basically, not to take up much more time, I mean, what else can you want from you know, a potential business opportunity? So yeah, we are actually at the end of our investment period, so we are short on money. Basically, as the fund, we are wrapping up our activities, and we don't have much firepower or, you know, funds to invest at this stage. Otherwise, we would have invested a lot more than the money we've committed right now, and we're still sort of figuring out what are ways to up our sort of commitment that we just you know, offered to Mikhail.
Well, thanks a lot, man. That's more than a compliment, I guess, to Mikhail. Thank you. Thanks for this exhaustive answer. Anything to add to that, Dancho?
Well, I can you know, kind of concur what Marin just said. When in our particular case, when we evaluate companies which are early stage, we evaluate two things. One is the market, whether the market is large enough, whether they have any adjacent markets that you can kind of spread, and also the team. And kind of when we did our evaluation, we saw that the market is quite large and there is a lot of catch-up potential compared to other more mature markets, like for example in the States. But most importantly was what Mikhail kind of said to us in the way he convinced us to invest in him and his team. Because usually when we're talking about early stage investments, the business model might change, the product might change, the service might change, but the ones that are actually kind of doing that change is the team and the founder. And if the founder is not good enough, they might not be able to pivot or do something if something is broken or it doesn't work. So we decided to kind of to support Mikhail, and I mean, we are very happy that we did, because he has proven to be super kind of resilient. He has proven to be kind of I know that it's gonna sound like a cliche, but he's a great hustler. I mean, he was able to open up all these channels to source all the phones together with his team. He was able to kind of build the platform from scratch, and the company has been growing ever since. That's why we decided to double down. We have some money allocated for follow-up investments after the end of the investment period, which ends at the end of this year. And Swipe is probably going to be one of the companies that we're going to continue supporting in the future, because they're doing very well. And again, it's I wouldn't say that it's like a rocket science or like a deep tech company. It's all about execution. And Mikhail and his team have proven time and time again that they can do it. So that's the best asset that the company has. And now the company is entering a stage where they're gonna kind of let's say automate this as much as possible, so that the company can scale fast and quickly and expand in other markets. And we believe in Mikhail quite a lot, in his team as well, and they're very good in execution. And I also can say, because we currently have about 30 companies, we have other 2 funds. Probably he's one of the, let's say, top-notch investors that we have. That's a compliment to you, Mishu. That's the reality of it. We don't see that level of maturity in founders, and the way he has the energy and all coming up with different stuff, hustling around, trying to find a way to maximize everything and to maximize the resources that he has. Because honestly, so far he has been kind of relying on a limited amount of resources. And this is the game in our region, and he has been able to maximize that. And that's it from my side.
Thanks a lot, Jordan. I mean, I know a lot of compliments to you. Then, but before you blush, I've got a few more questions, and it is regarding competition, and I see that some of the people on the call also have that question. So can we actually go to your slide where you've identified some of the competitors for some of the guys from Romania? A lot of the talks that I'm having with investors from Romania, they always compare you to Flip.
Yep. And that's great comparison.
That's like the first sentence.
And that's great, and that's amazing success story, and I'm glad to be compared with a company like Flip. And basically, they have achieved a lot, and they've been acquired by EMAG, which is a great testament to the founders and to what they have achieved. And what I've heard, because it's a private company, and what from public information, they're probably reaching 50 million euro annual revenue. which is great. Mainly, they work with, again, this is public information to what I have as a company. Probably people on the call from Romania might have different information. This is what I have. They mainly work with own supply channels. What I mean own supply channels, which is the online channel they have. They operate as a marketplace as well. So people, when they want to sell their phone, they have two options: to sell directly or to use them as a marketplace. And also, and they have unlimited buyback programs with Flanco and EMAC. I'm not aware if they're working on other buyback programs. As of now, this is the public information. Flanco is a retailer, but related to EMAC somehow, so it's quite normal. Here, what I hear from the market, from the partners that we've been talking to, is that they wouldn't prefer Flip as their buyback program, namely because of their strategic owner, EMAC, because they perceive retailers, especially online shops, especially, they perceive EMAC as their direct competitor, very strong direct competitor. And they wouldn't like to share any type of company information and their clients to a company associated with EMAC, which
so
gives.
That's in Bulgaria. That's you're referring to the Bulgarian market.
Yes, I'm referring to the Romanian market. But imagine EMAC is not just strong in Bulgaria; it's also strong in Romania, especially in Hungary as well. This gives us, quite confidence that we have. Strong competitors, Flip, but strong competitor on demand side. On the supply side, we have still very open niche for us to grow and develop. On the demand side, of course, they're a big player. Of course, they have the strong back of EMAC, but there is no single industry with one player, and also even with that revenue they've been generating already, the market is huge, and also we're not limited, as I said, to sell here. And also I believe with the supply channels and our strategy, we can acquire a lot stronger margins, and at some point, knowing that they buy inventory from other players like Recommerce, at some point they might even start buying inventory from us if we have sustainable supply sources. So this could be a competitor, this could be a facilitator for us as well. Foxway is a strong company in terms of buyback programs. Its majority owner is Nordic Capital, the headquarters in Sweden. The company generates 700 million euro revenue for last year, but operates mainly in Scandinavia, France, and Italy. As a matter of fact, Yettel, they work with Foxway as their buyback program partner, and they're not happy with Foxway because Foxway, because of their size, they don't offer good service, they don't offer good offer price to Yettel clients and so on. But Foxway, given their size and their strategic partner and their limited presence in the region, they could be potential acquirer of us. Who knows? So this is something investors might be interested in. Recommerce, again, big company with funding over 70 million euro, operates a sales unit in Central and Eastern Europe. As a matter of fact, we've bought inventory from them in the past when we had a gap between demand and supply. To be honest, not happy with their level of quality. The refurbishment is quite low. Our return rates of products we buy from them is around 20%, while our return rate is around 3%. So products are not great. They don't have buyback programs in Central and Eastern Europe. We've been talking to them about becoming an investor with us. They expressed interest, but later on they realized that with our buyback programs and our progress with buyback programs, we might be their potential competitor. So at this point, they said that they're now going to invest here. But my feeling is that they might be a potential acquirer, especially if we advance with our buyback programs quickly. Swappy is a huge company with 124 million euro in funding in Finland, operates in Western Europe, mainly and only Apple products. 150 million annual revenue, also potential acquirer, no presence in our region. And I'm pointing out this player because you see the revenue marks there. big companies. You see no presence in Central and Eastern Europe. Potential, if they are going to penetrate our region, they're not going to do it right now because they have a lot of work in Western Europe as of now. But later on, when they see our region as attractive, they're not going to greenfield invest into the region. They're going to acquire a big player here, and we could be a potential target. And I'm saying this from my experience in investments, which is a good potential for you as investors. Back market, it's a marketplace.
Bishop, I'm sorry to interrupt. We can share that with the investors later on, but I really want to cover the Q&A, and we are sort of ahead of time. You've obviously been thinking about the exit, the potential exit, which is great. What I hear from you, and if allow me to summarize, the market is very fragmented, and there's like 1-2 players in every single market, and there's a huge potential for consolidation, essentially. If that's something that you would agree with, just let me know.
Yep, that's correct. As of now, the players are quite small, and they operate like in particular smaller local regions. They usually online platforms because this is the low-hanging fruit. But you know, our research and our knowledge about the sector shows that the natural involvement of this sector across, you know, India is a good example, Western Europe is a good example. It starts off with online platforms and later on progresses with bigger players. So if these companies that have capabilities to offer partnerships and services to bigger companies or bigger players and facilitate their entry into the sector, they become the bigger players. Smaller ones, they either become non-existent, they stop operating, they remain small, or they get acquired.
Several questions that we've got in the chat section. So do you have any estimate of the number of person-to-person second-hand phone sales in Eastern?
Quick answer. From my experience in OLX, the trade in OLX in Bulgaria only 2 years ago was 200 million left, which is 100 million euro of second-hand phones only on OLX, just for 1 year.
Another question: do you plan to expand outside of Bulgaria?
Yes, of course. This is a very important milestone for us until the next round, and also in order to build ground for further expansion. We're looking, our first market we're looking at is Greece. We already entered the market via Scrooge, the marketplace there. So we've already had sales there, but we're going to launch our own platform and our own operations early next year. After that, we're going to approach, or parallel to that, we're going to approach Romania as a potential supply source and sales channel. And later on, these two markets will be the milestones for this round. But later on, our approach will be to target Central and Eastern, Hungary, Czech, Slovenia, Poland, and all the countries in the region.
And now that you have the refurbishment center, how do you plan to find quality workers?
Quality workers? That's quite an interesting question, because people think that because people perceive them as engineers and perceive them that there are not so many on the market, and that is true, there are not that many on the market. But this sector is so under the shadow right now. It's mainly the gray sector with no visibility, with no trust, with no investment, so fragmented. And all these people, very quality people, they're very low paid. And we managed to attract very well-trained technicians, and the salaries are not so great. And the moment they realize that we have big ambition, we're legitimate, we have such a great potential, they want to come and work with us. So it's not the great hustle here.
Okay. As you are well prepared and you were given the chance to share some financials, I see that some people are asking more specifics, like working capital. What is your working capital and cash conversion cycle? Can you share that?
Yep, yeah, I can share that. So basically, our turnover cycle of all devices, ever since we launched the platform, we have very extensive and deep dive statistics on the platform. That's very important for us to have analytical view on the business, not to do things in the dark. So our turnover cycle is 32 days ever since we started. So within 32 days, we managed to turn all the inventory. So we have phones and we have models that we turn within 4 or 5 days, and others that we turn for 40, 50, but on average is 32 days. And that's quite interesting because this is very attractive for banks. We already attracted some working capital, but we also have potential interest from banks for 2 million euro working capital instrument. So we've reached this threshold where banks are interested in us, mainly because of this short turnover cycle and attractive margins. So we managed to turn the money almost 12 times a year with you saw 22% gross margin, and this is very attractive for any banking institution.
So collateral there is the actual number of phones that you have.
Yep, we have that collateral as well. We have yep, basically that's it, collateral.
Okay, cool. And then the next question, customer acquisition cost and average order value. So
yep,
go ahead.
average order value is I mentioned that it's 500 euro.
Yeah.
That's very interesting about the acquisition costs. So 80% of our marketing spend right now is towards potential sellers. So right now we spent around 25 to 30 euro in order to attract a client to sell their phone directly to us. The money that we spent for buyers, people who are going to buy phones from us, are around 4 or 5 euro. That's very low. But right now, our model suggests that we need to establish ourselves as a brand. We need to promote and market our platform. We need to provide an instrument or service which is, how to say, not very attractive to all clients, that not all of them are willing to ship their devices by courier and stuff. And now, using big brands like retailers, like telecoms, like so on, we're not going to have this. We're going to step on their brands and backs. We're going to share a tiny commission. I mean, commission which is like 20% out of this marketing spend right now, and we're going to have a delayed payment or deferred payment is the term. Sorry, deferred payment up to 60 days. So with turnover cycle of 32 days and deferred payment of 60 days, we don't even need working capital. So basically, this is another instrument for us, first to improve profitability and decrease acquisition cost, and secondly to have free working capital.
Okay, you are now working with Zura. You are now working with Technomarket.
We're just starting. We signed contracts with them. We structured the whole process and stuff. And we're right now we lined up everything, and we're just starting next in the following week.
What about Technopolis?
Technopolis are a big player, the largest player in the sector. I believe their approach is to be risk averse, to see what happens with other players and then jump. We've had conversations with their team. We have direct contacts with the owners of Technopolis, but it seems that they're interested, but they don't rush it.
Okay, cool. One final question is about the money that you're currently raising. What are you going to be needing it for and spending it for, and how much runway will that provide you?
So basically, 3 directions. First is further building the internal capabilities of the company, which means further development of our platform and further development of our refurbishment center. This is extremely important for us because By doing so, we can put more things into the company, improve margins, and prepare for growth. This, with external partners, supply can come in waves. We don't expect to grow gradually. We expect we expect a tsunami. Basically, because these partners are big, brands are big, and potential is huge. So what we need first is to further build our capabilities, turning capabilities, in order not to drown. This is very important. Secondly is servicing these partners. As Yordan mentioned, this business is a matter of excellence and operations. In order to make these partners happy, we need to train their employees well. We need to make sure that we have enough coverage in all places. We need to make sure we quickly collect and refurbish those devices. And this is operational power. And this is something that our goal is to make this program scalable, and we scale them and apply them easily and quickly with other partners later on. There is a learning curve, and there will be a learning curve, and we're going to climb this learning curve quickly with capital, as you can imagine. And third milestone is international expansion. In order to enter into other markets, we need resources, we need marketing, we need team. So these are the three milestones that we're going to spend the money on and prepare for the next big round of investment. And the acquisition of inventory, we're going to finance with working capital instruments and with deferred payment plans.
Excellent. And that will allow you for how much runway?
We're planning to be the runway to be minimum of two years.
Got it. Well, guys, we are sort of ahead of time. It's beyond 1 hour. I'm sure some of you might have more questions, but I strongly encourage you to get on the platform and ask those questions through the discussion tab. Again, that will be beneficial to everybody who's interested, because if you have that question, most likely somebody else will have that question as well. I'd like to thank everybody that participated, and especially Marin, Yordan, who's now left, but he was actually giving his personal phone number, so anyone can ask questions directly. And definitely Mikhail for being prepared with details. I'm personally impressed as well. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks.